Okay, I'm going to tell you about the things inside your house that will just make sense and make your life easier, and the trash you need to get rid of because it's actually making your life worse. It's time for a declutter and to get your home in order because autumn is about to be around the corner. A portion of this video includes paid promotion with eBay. So I've just renovated my bathroom and it's taken 6 years to decide what I actually wanted to do. That bathroom was a cluttered mess. It had stuff that had been there for years. I didn't know what products I was using and I really hated the bathroom, but it took forever to make the decision. But it became a beautiful, clean, Pinterest worthy cavern that was empty, and I made the intentional decision to not fill it up with clutter and make sure that everything I placed in there was thought through and had a plan, and I wanted to kind of bring that vibe through my entire home. So I did a shop on eBay and bought some key things, but I realized that I often buy a lot of stuff, and I think that this is something we all deal with, is having a home with bits and bobbies in there that we don't necessarily need or know why we even have it there. So I wanted to get really into the nitty-gritty of what works for me and what doesn't. So I'm gonna break that down. So number one, tiny boxes and boxes within boxes within boxes within boxes. Now I know this might not make any sense, but I've generally found that if I have like a box or some kind of containment unit to put things in, everything looks tidier. So I bought these kind of woven storage boxes to insert into my cubby holes, and boxes are great for grouping products as well as hiding clutter in a way that is kind of intentional. And I think it's really great to have storage boxes to place in areas and be really intentional. And I think that in the past I've had boxes that had no purpose, but like when I have a box and I put a label on it, oof, can we talk about label makers in a second? But if I put a label on it, I am more likely to organize my stuff and keep it in a contained space, and anything that's going to help with containment is going to make me a happy bunny. I talked about tiny little boxes, but I also want to talk about chunky trays or tiny trays. Trays are a really good way to display items in groups. For some reason, when you display items in groups, it looks a lot less messy than having items spread out. And if you place items on a tray, it's going to look like it's its own entity and it's meant to be that way. And trays are a great way to display stuff, protect original surfaces, and keep stuff nice and clean. Number two is a good old house plant. And I know a lot of people are not green fingered. A lot of people complain about plants dying when they have them. I am similar, I'm the same. However, it depends on the plant that you get. There are plants that are really sturdy and just won't die, even if you're really bad, even if you're really terrible, can't water the thing for a week, it's fine. Just give it a little plant food once a month and these plants will thrive as well. And actually, I bought this plant thinking it was a fake plant on eBay, and it actually wasn't, it was a real plant, and it's actually amazing, and it hasn't died in the last 2 weeks, so that's a plus. But plants genuinely bring life and actual oxygen into a home, and I think it makes a space just look a little bit more welcoming. There's something about a plant that just sings to me in the home. So I got a little bit carried away when I was shopping on eBay, and I decided actually I wanted to get some garden furniture, and I was actually surprised by the breadth of items I could find on there. New, used, vintage, great finds. And the one thing I think is really important is if you have an outdoor space, most people don't necessarily give their outdoor space the love it necessarily needs. And I know that I love using my garden in summer, but I don't stay out there for long because it does get cold. I didn't have something to cover us from the sun and also protection. So I picked up a garden heater and a garden umbrella, which is huge. And I didn't realize how much of a difference it would make to my garden, but it was unbelievable. I could literally spend my entire day out there because I have those little things that make my garden more comfortable to be in. Now, you may not have a big garden where you can have a big umbrella, but definitely a garden heater is great. A mini barbecue is great. Some pillows that you can throw on the ground are great. But think about using the outdoor space you may have in a way that is kind of like flowing from the inside out. This has changed my life. Drawer organizers. Now, I've had drawer organizers for my makeup and my beauty products for quite a long time, and it's been game changing. But in the kitchen, I didn't know that I needed to organize my herbs, my thyme, my rosemary, my turmeric, my cumin in such a specific way. but I do now. Drawer organizers, no matter how you want to use them, are very good for really structuring your space and structuring your drawers so you can find stuff and not have clutter. That portion of the video was paid for by eBay. Now onto the things you don't need in your home. This one is so funny, and I think this is because I'm actually an adult now with a home and kids. I realized that having too many plates, cups, cutlery, glasses that are unintentional is so silly and so dumb and not needed and just makes my life worse. And my mom used to say, I'm getting rid of every single plate besides the one plate that you're going to use, and that's your plate. And I used to be like, but mom, why would you do that? I get it now. I understood her struggle, and she didn't even have a dishwasher at that time. So I've become really specific about having like one plate set, and even if it's a 20-piece plate set, that's fine. But the rest of the excessive stuff, if I'm not counting it for people who live in this house and then the 2 extra guests I'm having, it's not necessary. And if people come, they can have a paper plate. You're using paper plates. What I'm not gonna have is clutter because of the few guests I have once every 6 months. No. Anyway, I'm really passionate about that. But honestly, excess plates, cups, cutlery, no. Clearly I'm on a minimalism spree, but excess furniture. You don't need a side sofa, a front sofa, a chair, another chair, grandma's old rocking chair, a side table, a middle table, a corner table, and another one. It's too much. It's too much, and it's overfilling the place, and the room can't breathe, okay? The room needs to be easy breezy cover girl, but you can't move. You're knocking your ankles and your knees on every surface. Every little piece of furniture that's in your house is there for no reason. And this could be also in a bedroom or in a bathroom. Just having excess large pieces for the sake of it. I really have found that the less I have at home, the better I feel, and declutter is my middle name. I really turned into my mum. Wow. But honestly, less is generally more at home. And actually, when you have a great space that you can be intentional about, it makes such a difference. So now is the time to basically declutter everything. Another thing that doesn't make sense is that just in case room, just in case drawer, just in case wardrobe, just in case area which has got multiples and excess stuff that you're not actually using now or in the near future or at all. And I think a lot of people, depending on what your background is, they often feel like, well, if this happens, I might use this plank of wood if something ever happens, so I'm gonna store it in it. No, it's not happening. You can buy a new one, you can make a new one, you'll find one at the time, but keeping little areas filled with stuff that you don't need. So if you can get rid of that just in case area, that is going to make your life a lot easier. Like, you don't need certain things in your home that you're saving or keeping around for if something happens. It's a waste of home space as well as mental space. And I have a little bit of a bonus of a thing that does make sense. It's covering your surfaces and your furniture so that they can last a lot longer. Now, you don't have to do it the old school way of the plastic and the cling film still on the sofa, but things such as throws, and I have this gorgeous new Hermes throw that I love, and actually we don't want mess getting on that, but the visuals is still amazing. I love a good sofa throw, and I think those make sense at home. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know if you agree, let me know if you disagree. Leave some comments below. What do you think you need are essentials in your home, and what are things that you're like, you know what, it's time to get rid of? Let me know in the comments, but in the meantime, I will catch you all later. Bye.